Good evening, everyone. Good evening, judges. My name is Ed. This is Randy.
Good evening, Randy Douglas. How are you guys doing today?
And we are with Amber Armor.
We would like to give you an executive summary. Amber Armor is a device designed to provide protection and ensure safety for children, and ensure safety for children in a compact, easy to use wearable device. Amber Armor holds an industry lead due to its going strong intellectual property protection with multiple patents.
The market that we are targeting for Amber Armor is huge. In 2020, that market is estimated to be at $34 billion for wearable devices. The initial market that we're targeting, which is children's wearable devices, is currently at $5 billion. There are additional marketing opportunities for what we're doing. That bracelet can be used for applications for law enforcement, military, and elder care, which we call Silver Armor. And those markets are $21 billion for elder adults and $20 billion for military and law enforcement.
The technology groundbreaking personal safety device combines features for a total safety solution, two-way communication with video, GPS tracking with history, and geofencing, locking band, advanced mobile by anybody, others, and non-cellular communication with satellite option, solar charging for extended battery charge.
Now, why do we have a competitive advantage in this industry? It's very simple. The Amber Armor is the only product that does the following things. It's the only product that has two-way video communication, that also has a compact form factor suitable for kids that are not comfortable using something like a cell phone or even an Apple iWatch. It has non-cellular communication options, which is important for the extended markets where law enforcement and military are not in cell coverage. Extended battery life with solar, and most important of all, we do have full patent protection with an existing issued patent and an additional patent pending that covers the whole feature set.
Intellectual property, key property, we have patent 7602303. That's our first patent filed in 2006. We got it in 2009. Fully describes wearable device with key features, non-removable GPS, two-way video. Second patent filed include next features that extends the 2009 patent, health vitals tracking, abnormal heartbeats, falls and stuff like that, and satellite communication and off the grid for military use and police use.
So next steps, we have currently spent $40,000 for the initial prototype development. We have prototype developed. Unfortunately, it did not ship in time because it is currently a national holiday in China, which is where our development partners are. So they are off for basically 2 weeks and couldn't get it in time, but we do have a little video to showcase how it works. Our next step is to raise $85,000 for the prototype to be converted into full retail ready solution.
That's it. To bring Douglas Security Technologies, we're here to bring new technologies to life to save lives. Thank you.
This is just a quick video of how it works. It's basically a compact form factor. This is our initial prototype form factor, and it allows very, very simple calling that doesn't require anything other than a press of a button. On the parent side, if you're the parent and you have a child, you can call them and they have to pick up. They are not allowed to decline the call because the whole point of it is for you to be able to get in touch with your kids whenever necessary, and that's just a quick video demonstration of it. That's pretty much it. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time. Sharks, we are ready for the questions.
What is the retail price?
$199 is our target retail price.
Okay, and you say it's the child has no control over it, or is it just from a panic point of view?
So the child has, there's two-way communication. So the child can initiate the call. If they press a button, it's a panic button. So they hit one button, they're directly connected to you. If the parent wants to contact the child, they can do that, and the child does not have to answer. I mean, they're answered automatically.
Okay, the range between sender and receiver is
Cellular. So
cellular.
your child can technically be, in California. I mean, obviously that would be unlikely, but Maybe you trust your child that much to send them over there at 7 years old?
No, we don't trust them.
So does it?
They
trust this far.
Yes, it works on, it works on standard cellular network. For the basic
What carriers are gonna carry this?
AT&T and T-Mobile, because they're on the same band versus
How much does
Verizon.
it cost to produce each unit?
The estimated cost right now is between $50 and $60 per unit.
Can you walk me through, I think I'm the only one here without this. Can you walk me through, like, why someone would buy this and sort of, help me understand the buyer's journey as they
Absolutely. So, if you have a child, you want to give them independence. You want your kids to be able to play on the playground. And nowadays, as parents, we're super busy. There's a lot of stuff going on in our lives. We are not always being able to watch our child every second. So this gives them the ability to kind of run around do their thing. With a GPS fencing, what you can actually set up is an area for a child to play in. And once they exit that area, because they're running around, or God forbid, somebody kidnaps them, it gives you an alert, notifies authorities, if necessary, and so on. So it gives them the ability to grow and be independent. There's also features, we don't really get into this too much, but there's like a guide home feature. So what you can do is, if your child has this bracelet and they're playing around, let's say they're in your neighborhood, but they're a few streets away, and all of a sudden they feel lost, they can hit the button and they're able to get actually GPS directions to get home.
If you put this on AT&T, does it get charged like a normal cell phone, or is it just data only, or
Correct. Yeah,
what's the monthly cost?
It's so AT&T normally charges a $10 fee for devices like that. There may be like a per minute charge. Those are the specifics that we're in talks with AT&T right now in order to negotiate a specific deal. We obviously want it to be as cost effective for the consumer as possible. At the same time, AT&T wants to make a little bit of money. So these days, data is very cheap and cell phone service is very cheap. So they really want, AT&T from their perspective wants new devices in the network. They don't really need to charge a lot of money for each device. They just want someone to have something that they wouldn't otherwise have, because everybody already has a cell phone. How they grow the customer base is through that. That's why they're really interested in this.
And what happens when a child removes it on their own?
They cannot, so there's the patent actually, that's one of the big things is it has a non-removable band. It's locking, so the child cannot take it off. It's not like your watch where you can just do this, and then throw it away. There's a lock, so the child has to keep it off.
So it's like an ankle bracelet.
It's like an ankle bracelet, yeah. You're on probation.
Not that I would know about.
What's the battery life? Like if my kid goes over to a friend's house and he's out playing for 8 hours, is it still gonna be?
So right now with the testing that we're doing, it's the battery life is similar to an Apple iWatch. It's pretty good. Definitely, because it doesn't. It's very different from, like, if you imagine what an Apple iWatch is. It's constantly communicating with your cell phone to send you messages and all these things. There's a lot of back and forth that uses battery life. With this, it's really more for an emergency use. So your kid's not sitting there making calls to all their friends. So that is what allows the extension of battery life. In the evolved application, because of the solar charging and things like that, it actually has much more extended battery life. Because for the soldiers that are out in the field, they can stand there all day and it's charging more than it actually is consuming in terms of the electricity.
It also has kinetic charging too.
On the other end, the person calling the watch, what does that look like? Is it a
cell phone? It's your iPhone, your Android. I mean, iPhone is our target market initially because it's easier. I mean, you do development, so if you pick one platform to start with, it's a little easier than doing two platforms. As a parent, you would have an app, which is where the geofencing is set up, so you can see where your child is. And then you have, for the actual phone call, it's just like receiving a phone call from a number. This AT&T assigns a number to this as a device. So.
Actually, if they have a sex offender alert too on it too.
Yeah, so
if they walking home, if they lost.